some of the strategies that I do when I go into a store to turn it around, or I'm giving feedback to a dealer, or I'm trying to help the dealership improve what they're currently doing. They're already doing really well, but then we're minor tweaks and minor strings that we're pulling, right? Different levers that we're trying to pull to make sure that we're optimizing the dealer and trying to get them better. And one of the things that I do is I look at, what's happening with the email sequences, SMS calls, like when they're building out these cadences, are the work plans being completed? Are they the right messages? What's actually happening on some of those email sequences? Like, is the right hook, are they being opened? Are we just sending them to send them? Or do we have a real strategy to get those things taken care of? So for example, are the subject lines being optimized? When was the last time you looked at the open and click through rates? And then you pull them. And then how many of those replies actually went unanswered? You can actually see that information. And are your customers' questions actually being answered? And then that's like a whole other training issue, right? But then you really have to sit there and give them feedback, your salespeople, on how to actually respond correctly to some of these. SMS, are the texts timely and relevant? Do they have clear hooks that get engagement? Does that actual hook actually lead into an actual next step? Or is it just some one-off message? You really look at email, SMS, and then phone calls. That's just huge, right? What's happening with the outbound phone calls? Do they actually sound like they're professional? Are they just saying, hey, just checking in? Are managers listening to them? What kind of voicemails are being left? And do the conversations follow a framework, or are people just winging it? And what you'll find is most people are just winging it. But the data is pretty clear. It's 80% of people require 5 follow-ups, yet 44% of reps quit after just 1 engagement. I'm going to kind of show you like a framework, a sequence when you're actually going in there to. So this is one of our AI sequence builders. And so for example, this is an AI agent we've already built. Most of these things, when you build a sequence for like email, for example, hey, I'm going to build a sequence for long-term follow-up. And the reason why most sequences probably never go past 90 days is because it takes a lot of work. I mean, it could take you 20 days to build a sequence, because you've got to do the if that then this scenario type thing happens. You get those decision trees. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and you're trying to come up with a strategy for it. And so that's usually why people don't change them as often, right? So if I'm going to say, I want a 30-week sequence, but then I got to go in here and say, I want to start with an email, I want to go with a voice call, I want to go with an SMS, and then if this happens, let's do that. And then you try to start connecting all these dots. And then here's the next thing. You got to click here. You got to then go down and start filling out the email. Okay, say this. All of that takes a lot of time. And here's the thing, that's just one day, right? Day 1 response. Then you got to go day 3, day 4, all the way up to day 60, and a voice script, the email script, the text script. That's day 1. Now you got to go day 2, all the way to day 60, right? How long is that going to take? Or you could just jump into our workflow AI, and you can say, hey, look, I want email, I just want voice, or I just want SMS and voice. I want email and voice, or I just want SMS and email. And just say, you know what, I want it for, let's say 43 weeks. Or you can say, I want it to go run for 16 weeks. And then you say, based on the agents you've already done, you can say, look, build me a sequence, follow up, and this is what's going to happen. And you write your prompt, and then you hit generate. And now it created all the nodes. It tells you what time that email is going to go out, what time the text message is going to go out, what time the phone call is going to go out. It builds the whole sequence of events of what's going to happen in October, November, December, January, all the way through for the next 16 weeks. And more importantly, you can go in there and check, okay, so this is what's going to happen, huh? And then you scroll down, you can see this is at this time, and it's already pre-built. It's pre-building all of the scripts, all the emails. So I can click here and it tells me this is exactly what's going to be said. This text message, that's the hook, that's what's going to be sent out. All of it right now, so you can see it's building 26, 27 scripts of 39. Takes maybe a minute, less than a minute. But now I've got 16 weeks of follow-up that you know is going to happen. And then more importantly, the AI is smart enough. This is just so to tell you that this is what's going to happen if the customer never engages. If they do engage, it'll follow a different decision tree or decision path based on the customer engagement and interaction. And you know for a fact that the email is going to go out, text message is going to go out, and the phone call is going to go out because the AI is programmed to do that. It's going to do its job 100% of the time. It's not going to call in sick. It's not going to do any of that. But more importantly, it's going to amplify your sales team's efforts. You're not going to no more need to say, hey man, how many phone calls did you make today? How many text messages you sent out? Because you know for a fact how many actually went out and follow up. So this is our workflow AI, cadence build, follow up, train the agent, upload a list, hit send, and your sales follow up is complete.